Right, the pen tool over here is a very complex tool to use, and the best way to learn how to use it is just to keep practicing with it. It really is the only way. And I think people get a little bit overwhelmed sometimes because it is a self-drawing tool. But let me show you something here. So I have the pen tool and I'm going to draw. I'm just going to make a simple box here in the beginning, okay? So click once. If I hold down my shift key, I can make a straight line. If I hold down my shift key again, I can make another straight line. Again, I can make another straight line. And my smart guides are showing me where to stop so that I can make it a perfect box, okay? There, I just made a box, all right? I can make a box with a rectangle tool as well. And this is what I want to show you. Now those two boxes, they look exactly the same. They actually have the same color inside of them. You can't see it because the color is white. But if I want to change a corner on this box, I use my direct selection tool. And the same thing with something that is drawn with the pen tool. Once it's a closed shape, it's a closed shape. If I want to affect those, then I really just need to use my other tools to do so. If I want to make those have Bezier curves, then I would need to come and do the anchor point tool to add the curve in after the fact. But I can do that. I can, with my direct select tool, then affect the handles however I want once I locate them. Having your smart guides on is great because it will pop up and tell you where an anchor is if you're not selected on something. Otherwise, just select it, click it in the very center, and all of them will get selected, right? And then I can move the various ones around. When you have your pen tool, when you first start out with the pen tool, you have a couple options. So I am on my pen tool right now. And as you can see up here, it says yellow and black. That means that my stroke will be black and my fill will be yellow. And so I'm going to get a fill inside of this pen tool right now. If you don't want to have a fill, if that's confusing for you, then you would need to turn this off first so that you are just drawing lines. Otherwise, when you have some color in here, when you start to draw, as soon as you get a third line going, you're going to get fill showing. And the problem with that is when you bring lines back the other way, then you start getting this twisty line. But it's not actually done yet. The more that you add, it keeps changing. And so if that becomes confusing for you, then you might want to turn it off and not have it on and just fill afterwards. All right. And if you're going to fill afterwards, oops, then take this, make it the line through so there's nothing there. And if you're going to fill afterwards, it's just a matter of choosing it. Now right here, it can't be chosen up here because I was just on my anchor point tool and so it hasn't really let go of it. It can be chosen right down here though in the bottom of my toolbar. So I can change the color right now down here and it will change. Or if I really want it to change up here, then I can just click off and click back on again. And now it will kind of switch back to my selection tool and give me those colors up top there as well. When they're not there, it just means that the control panel is just trying to give you the tools it thinks are most relevant. And sometimes it gets a little bit confused because of where you left off. So that's an easy way to just click off and click back on. We'll bring them up for you. I mean, also you can come over here again to your color panel and choose colors over here as well. What else? When you're doing this, you can also, of course, when you click, instead of just clicking once and drawing, click, 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 click with my mouse, click, I can also, oops, select all, delete, click and drag, hold. So I'm going to click and hold, I haven't let go, and drag. And now I'm getting the Bezier curves as I draw. And it's showing me a line of how it's going to, thinks it's going to curve. With the pen tool, I can switch back and forth. So I've made 3 curves there. My next one can be a straight line. And I can go back to straight lines, and then I can go back to curves again. All right. If I want to know that I want to do all curves, I can actually go over here to the curvature tool. A little bit different tool, but it basically is just for curves. Oops. Again, I did not select all there. And that tool would actually make huge bends. It's a little bit different. I encourage you that if you have not learned the pen tool, to wait on the curvature tool as well, because it's just like a more high-tech version of the pen tool, and you want to be able to master one before moving on to the other. Kind of looks like a funky elephant there, or a bat. So anyway, I hope that this kind of gives you a little bit of insight into the beginning of the pen tool. And really the best thing for learning the pen tool is to practice. You come in here, try adding anchor points and deleting anchor points. I can come in and add lots of anchor points in here. And then I can come back afterwards and I can delete lots of anchor points. Get rid of that one, get rid of that one. And I can use my direct select tool to select everything. Or I can use my direct select tool to just pick one thing. This is after I've drawn with the pen tool. And I'm coming back and moving these points around. And that's all just with the direct select tool. So practice, practice. If you want to know how to use the pen tool, you can watch lots of videos, but the best thing to do is just get in there and start making mistakes. And then through making mistakes, you'll figure out the right way to use some of these tools. All right, I hope this helped you, and I'll see you next time.